Talking Counter, episode 92, brought to you by Pure Life Water, healthy hydration, the only type of hydration.
Well,
92 was a good year. That's when I was born.
I think old-fashioned.
Where would we be without babies?
Hold up, he's talking. Well, without alcohol and babies, probably nowhere really. They don't mix, but with one, sometimes you can make the other.
Most of them
the other
are
comes
made
along.
while intoxicated.
Most of them, implying
What do you
over
reckon this-
51% of babies have been made.
Over 50%. Well, over 51.
Are unplanned pregnancies while drunk.
There's a lot of unplanned pregnancies in Serbia.
Really?
Yeah. And then you have those like, is that what's a shotgun wedding?
Shotgun
is?
wedding, yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, well, you made a baby, so might as well get married now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we don't go to hell or whatever.
Yeah, that's the
deal
main
is
thing
with
I'm
that.
concerned about as well as hell. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
my
the-
biggest concern.
it's not
Is
the-
premarital sex.
The $1 million that it's gonna cost to raise a
Premarital
child.
sex has really been
No.
killing me for years.
Wait, Jason, first of all, what the fuck is a taco soup?
Taco soup.
Yeah.
It's on the
Okay.
menu at,
Yeah.
at the sports bar.
I mean, I'm assuming it's like a soup, a broth that has like beef, a little bit of pepper, some onions, like all the normal trimmings of a taco, maybe some tortillas shredded up and thrown inside as well.
Okay.
A little bit of cheese as well.
Bro, of course, also.
He gave a better answer than Trace did.
Yeah, there's like a Bavarian pretzel, you know,
Yeah.
on the menu, and then it's like add queso for $6 more. It's like, why would you need queso with a Bavarian
Garlic
pretzel?
butter, I think it had as well with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Mustard is a big one as well. Like
Mustard
either
with
some
the-
spicy or stone ground mustard with a pretzel is a classic here in the States.
Yank had spicy shrimp tacos.
Oh my god, dude! It had
good.
habanero in it.
Too hot?
Too hot for
Yeah.
me. I'm not really. I don't know if last time I asked them without habanero, or maybe it just wasn't as spicy. I knew it was spicy, but I knew also the tacos were really good. So I was willing to concede to the spiciness.
What, Jason? What's the most American thing in the world,
Well,
or the most American thing in America?
I guess it'd be gun ownership, wouldn't it?
Would it? Is that what makes America
I think we're
America?
I mean, once upon a time, that's how it all began, right?
Is that because it's in the Constitution?
Yeah, it is.
So that's what.
Second
that's the
Amendment.
most American thing.
I mean, that I would say that distinguishes us from the European zone is
Guns.
You know,
Guns, baby.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was
answer.
doing it's on my brain. I was doing the lobby, and I was talking to Liquid, and they were getting their pictures taken, and they have the cowboy hat, so the players can do like a cowboy hat themed picture because we're obviously in Texas. And Skulls was wearing one, and I was like, some of the guys, like Flames from Vitality, was doing the whole like turned his back to the camera and spun around, did like a quick shot, and he goes,
Okay.
"Oh, perfect. Are there any guns around here?" And I was like, "Bro, you're in Texas. Like,
They're everywhere.
it's
Yeah.
good. Like we can get you a gun."
I felt dodgy as fuck when we were filming some skits this morning, and I'm dressed up in like I got a cop badge and I have like this vest on that says SWAT, and I'm like, well, hopefully nobody sees me and actually
Yeah.
thinks that I am a member of SWAT or a police officer, because I am not.
What? Are you gonna get shot at?
No, I just thought, you know, maybe
what
they'll
are
think I
you
have a
implying
gun.
here?
What if they? I don't have a gun, all right, Yanka. I want to be clear.
All right, but if they thought you did and you were a police officer, they would what?
What if they needed
open
my help?
fire?
What if they needed my help, Yanka?
you just say, "Hey, I'm off my shift now, bro.
I couldn't
I
offer
can't
any
be
help.
arsed, mate."
Couldn't offer any help. It was 36 degrees today.
90 something.
I'm not doing the Fahrenheit. I don't care. I'm sorry. I
It's
understand
okay.
I'm in your
It's cool.
country. I'm still not doing
It's all
it.
good.
I'm not doing miles.
My laptop says 93 degrees right now.
Yeah, okay.
And that's at 8:15.
Yeah. So the most American thing is guns, and it's hot.
Yeah,
That's Dallas. All right.
that's Dallas for you.
It's quite
I mean,
nice
dude, when I
outside.
used to live in Texas, I remember I went to like I lived in just outside Texas in one of the suburbs, and like you'd go into a Starbucks, man, and there'd just be like somebody you could just like see like a strap under the shirt or something like that. It was
Doesn't it make
weird.
you uneasy?
A little bit. I mean, no, but yes. Like pistols make me uneasy.
Okay. Why more so than somebody with an
Then a
AR-15?
shotgun.
They're small and like they're wieldy
Deadly.
and versatile. Well, yeah, there's that. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, obviously,
most guns
obviously,
are.
like if someone's strolling around with an AK-47, that's gonna make me.
I think
uneasy
all
too.
guns are deadly, actually.
Yeah, but like, But you know, like a pistol is just like so. Like a handgun is just like so. Like I've gone to when I go to shooting ranges, I don't like shooting pistols because it feels like
Too easy.
Yeah, exactly.
But what if they all had revolvers? Because then they've only got
6 shots?
Yeah.
not as accurate.
Yeah. And there's obviously a delay when you fire, just like Counter Strike. All right.
But they never jam.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's true too. Yeah. Look, can we? I think the guns thing. It's an interesting topic.
It is. It's not maybe one for this podcast.
It's not a topic that.
Now that we're about 5 minutes deep into the gun conversation.
Well, but the video game that we talk about every time has guns as a focal point, so
True.
that would be a little bit
There's a tie in there.
hypocritical of some variety, I imagine. There's a cheaper gun now. There,
the
M4, A4. There's a tie-in.
Nice.
Who's jet lagged? Looking at Jason.
Bro, this event is amazing for me.
What's the time difference?
1 hour.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
My usual 6. I feel great.
That's not.
I
That's 6 is okay.
I was telling Alex last night at the bar. I was like, because Alex was wrecked last night with like jet lag, and I was just laughing because I was like,
Do you think it's steel?
that sounds like a steal?
Should I let him in?
Yeah, let's steal him.
He should have a key card.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't?
Is he really gonna play
What if he doesn't?
FPL,
What if he
that
doesn't
bastard?
know? What if he doesn't know? Yeah, come on.
Well, yeah, we
Yeah,
are
I was-
recording.
I was talking to Alex and it was just like I was like, bro, this is great. Like this is the first event I get to witness everyone else just like wrecked. Like
I'm not jet lagged.
Yeah, I'm not super wrecked. I'm fine. I had because
fuck
my
me, right?
I had a nightmare
I don't
travel.
even get one event.
I had nightmare travel coming in. Like flight was delayed for weather, so I checked in at like 2:30 a.m. And then I obviously slept, no problem.
Yeah.
Was making slept for 8 hours straight. Then last night also pretty chill.
Yeah.
Slept again 7 hours or something like that. So I'm a bit tired now, but I'm not like
But it's good to be tired. now.
Yeah.
Because you want to go to bed soon anyway. What time did we finish at the restaurant last night? Like just after 9, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And then
Sounds about right.
And then we came back, and I went to bed pretty much immediately. So
I didn't.
sometime between 9:30 and 10, I imagine.
I think I went up around 11:30. I think Alex went up like around 11:30 as well.
Okay.
I don't know about anyone else.
I just know I went to sleep, and then I did that thing where you wake up in the middle of the night, but you don't check your phone because you set an alarm, and you set your alarm. I set my alarm for 6:30 because if I went to bed at 9:30, waking up at 6:30, that's a
Should be
shitload of
fine.
sleep, right? So I was like, okay, and then every time I wake up, I was like, no, fuck this. I'm not waking up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
And as soon as you pick up your phone to check your alarm,
It's
then
over.
you're going to switch to like
over.
Twitter, and then you're
Yeah.
going to switch to like Reddit, and it's
So
like,
I just fought the urge, and then I ended up waking up at 6:20, 10 minutes before the alarm, and I was like, this is sick. Got up, had breakfast, beat the queues, apparently it's like
oh, the breakfast place here is nuts.
Grand Central
Yeah.
Station down
Oh
there or
my
some
god,
shit.
bro!
Well,
I love this.
it's a popular restaurant even outside of hotel guests. It's open to the public.
Oh, okay.
Is also part of the issue.
We went to some fucking shitty places for Counter-Strike, over the last 10 years that we've been doing
Name them,
this.
Yanko.
And Serbia. And this is the first time. So it was so crazy that you were in line to just give your name for them to like call you when you can get in. Like there was a way, it was insane. And this is how fucked up your country is. So
It's not the guns.
It's not the guns.
not the
it's
guns.
that too. But so there's a buffet at breakfast, right? There's also like a la carte, but there's also a buffet. So why do you need to? There was plenty of room in the restaurant, right? So
true, there was.
So they just
They-
couldn't serve you, but you don't need to fucking serve me. I can just walk in,
It's a
go
buffet.
to the buffet,
Yeah.
right? Eat my fucking food and get the fuck out, right? But no, if I do that, you can't get your $70 tip for just coming and fucking pouring me some coffee and like pouring some water. So instead, they're making 100 people fucking wait around and can't eat breakfast so that they could come say, oh, hello, sir, how's it going? Oh, yeah, how you doing?
The
Oh,
tip's
yeah,
included.
blah, 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 $10.
They got the gratuity already on the bill.
Yeah, so it's like...
So I didn't tip anymore. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Well, don't you break this?
Yeah,
don't you be breaking this shit?
fucking be-
I'm just opening a notepad.
Okay.
It's super.
Oh.
So then I just
Going to
when I saw that I was there for
Just
5
one
minutes, and
timestamp.
then I realized that people were all in line waiting not to get to eat, but to just put their name in, and I just ordered something.
Shake Shack.
No,
Guys.
no, some breakfast place I would like
bagel.
a sandwich.
Yeah. You know how I was dreading the flight?
Yeah.
Because where were we? What was the last event? Oh, in Malta. You're like, oh yeah, it's an old plane and shit, and you were geeing me up about it. The plane was fine. The plane was fine. I had nobody next to me. It was like I was in a row of 4, and I had 2 seats, and then there was a woman sitting at the other end.
That's beautiful.
So I was like,
That's the dream.
There was no baby in front or behind. There was it was fine. It was all good. I didn't even sleep for that long, but it was okay because you're not rubbing shoulders with somebody the entire flight. You don't have someone next to you going,
Not
can I get
paranoid
up to go to
about,
the
like, needing to
bathroom?
get-
None of that shit had to worry about. So that was nice. And I was like, okay, well, thank God I didn't upgrade. And on my flight, there was Sirius.
Said no one ever.
No, but it was all right because there was no need. At Sirius on my flight, I had a bunch of ESL like freelancers, like cameramen. Who else was there? Obviously, Alex and myself.
I had Zeus.
LMBT.
I had Zeus, Skulls, and Edward on my flight from Liquid.
Why would Zeus and Skulls?
Because they live
Believe from Grand
stay
Rapids.
they stay in the Netherlands, so they fly out of Amsterdam, which is Sky Team, and Detroit is a Delta hub. So they did a KLM home out of Amsterdam
Okay.
into a Delta of Detroit.
He said he's not jet lagged.
I'm just drunk.
Jesus Christ. From what? This is your first drink?
Maybe he had a beer at dinner.
3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We're on the waters, Chad.
Yeah.
We're
Good for
being
you guys.
I had a
being good
Dos Equis
boys.
with dinner, which is basically water.
Yeah. It's
Quite
nice thing.
refreshing. Yeah. But we're here. I'm happy. The update was cool. I guess that's going to be the main thing we talk about today.
I
Yeah,
fucking love
I
this
think-
event, bro. This event's amazing.
This event?
Yeah.
just Dallas
I,
as an event.
I
is
think
fucking
also,
awesome.
I think I'm glad that we're playing on the new update.
Yeah,
I think it would
I'm
be
too.
silly otherwise. I know they're saying,
Well-
apparently it's like, but for me, even if that's more of a, okay, we can use this thing to play the new update because it's going to be more interesting for the viewers and everyone involved. I also think obviously it's a shitty situation, but would you be better off really if you were playing on the old one for a week?
Now, look,
Right, better to just, and it's the same for everyone. No one got a head start. It's a level playing field in that
Yeah,
regard. Sure,
but
the teams that don't play Vertigo are maybe a little bit ahead because they don't need to, they don't play the map anyway, so they don't need to figure out the changes. But I feel like the other changes are really big to gameplay that affect like the economy and whatnot, where you can't really be fucking
Did you
around
come
with
and try and get in and then leave because you didn't have your card?
No.
So it wasn't you trying to get in the room. All right.
Annoying kids, right?
Hey, Josh.
Okay, that's
no,
good.
you're
No, you're
fine.
good.
No, you're
good,
right.
dude.
Yeah,
You want
man.
to say hi? You want to say hi to the people?
It's HLTV Live.
Yeah.
HLTV Live podcast. Hey, people, how's it going?
Hey, gamers.
Hey,
That's good.
gamers.
Enjoy your,
That's all I
your
needed.
FPL.
What's up, Twitch chat?
Yeah. What were we saying? Oh yeah, with the update. But I imagine some people were on the plane on the way when it happened. The thing is, I can sympathize on all perspectives. I'm surprised to see it being used, to be honest. Normally, because when things like this happen, I know Mihal always errs on the side of caution with the potential crashes and stuff that could come from something like this. But apparently, they were assured from Valve that
This fixes the
NVIDIA crashes have been fixed with this, which is a positive. So we don't have that happening. So that's a big thing.
Even if it didn't fix the crashes, I would prefer it played on the new
I would
patch.
prefer it, but I understand, from
the
a player
player
perspective
perspective.
of why they
Yeah,
wouldn't.
obviously.
And if I was a player, I would prefer it not to be as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because especially if you're a favorite team.
But this is the problem is like, I mean, you get to a point where it's like, where is the perfect time? I mean, we have the
well,
player
there's
break.
never a perfect time.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like if you do it after Dallas, then they're going to be saying the same thing going into London.
Yeah,
and
well,
then,
but this is more interesting from a viewer perspective.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's more interesting from a viewer perspective. It makes it more interesting for us because it's not like Pro League where we had Dust 2 come out, but we're still doing Overpass. We've had that happen a lot of times with the events we do. And then the thing is, it's like, well, we're playing on something that's old when we want to be talking about something that's new. Like the economy changes are the main thing that I think is what's interesting. Whereas the Vertigo stuff, we will learn about how the meta changes. We might not see a lot of Vertigo at this event, and the initial teams dipping their toe into it are only going to be showing the fledgling ideas of what's even going to be possible on the map until it actually starts to cement itself of how it's played.
But it's going to be fun. Like now's a cool time to like almost like track how Vertigo is played now, and then like right after the player break when there's a little bit more time to prep
the
for it,
changes.
see how people have changed, and then by the time next Pro League rolls around, it's like boom, there's some content for Pro League. It's like let's look at the evolution over 3 months for this new Vertigo.
And it's pretty drastic change. Like I know a lot of people will look at it and go, "Oh, it's not that big," but I think it's pretty big. And I
For what?
For Vertigo.
Oh, it's You think people don't think it's big? I think.
Well, I think people will just go, oh, they just opened a doorway and added a catwalk. But I think that's the thing. The nuances of what it changes is the big part. I was talking to Alexi about
Especially
it today.
when it gets harped on by pro teams and players for like months on end. It's going to get picked at and figured out.
But the thing was, I was talking to Alexi about it today, and the T spawns. He, even though they don't play it, he's still looked at it, and they were picking it when he was in NIP, right? So it's something that he's not completely
foreign to.
But we were talking about the spawns, and one thing he was saying was the CT spawns. The CTs can be like halfway down yellow by the time the Ts get to the ramp, which is crazy because the CT spawns were moved all the way back. But obviously now you have the shortcut through, and the T spawns, they remove the worst T spawns, the ones that would be closest to where you would throw the smoke to like ramp lurk or gap smoke. So now you only have like closer spawns. But it's going to be interesting to see as well how like these affect other timings, because most of the focus is on A. Right, of how this will adjust with the ramp. What will those timings be like for the CTs as the spawn now closer for B? Will they be able to fight further down B? Talking about those details. So that's the first thing. And that's it's one thing I wanted to do, or one thing I think that should be done on like a base level, especially if you want to teach people who don't know anything about Counter-Strike of at what points can contact be taken. Like if we're going most base level, that would be where I would start, right? Like if you understand the concept, it's 5v5 and you can buy different guns as an economy. But each map, what is the first point of contact that can be taken with each best spawn / worst spawn?
And I mean, it's kind of a cool time to think about that too, because Dust 2 just got added into the pool, obviously, and the long spawns for T-side are so critical of when you can actually challenge for.
That's a whole casting
because like
topic,
the spawn you get dictates like the available plays available to you in the first 15, 20 seconds of a round.
I made a tweet about it. Like I was like, it'd be a nightmare on if you never got long spawns on gun rounds. People are like, oh yeah, but you can just take long late. I'm like, no, you idiots.
Oh, we played a Dust 2 pug like that the other day, and it was so frustrating.
It just removes the option completely.
It was like every eco round is like, here's the long spawn.
Yeah.
Every gun round, it's like, nah, get fucked. These spawns. And you're like, great. Well,
I'm not saying you don't have options. You definitely do. But one of your strongest options, and we saw towards the tail end of Dust 2, the way that Na'Vi were approaching it, right? Na'Vi would just do the long takes, and then they'd just wait out, and then they would cross. Obviously, there's going to be changes in the nuance with that with the HEs. But still, like long, you can literally just own that part of the map, and you can finish rounds through there, and it's so powerful. So to not get those spawns is a really, really big deal, or not to not have the option to even do that because it's spawn based. There's 12 spawns T-side Dust 2.
I was about to bring that up.
Spawns.
Isn't it kind of weird that like a Dust 2 has a map with that many spawn points, and then you go to like Vertigo, and
has-
like
only has
CTs
five
only
now.
have 5.
Yeah, T's only have
T
five now
as well.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't that a little bit crazy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But then what's the purpose? Is it a balancing thing? Are they trying to just go in the way of only having 5 spawns? What's the
Well, I think it's the difference of the map.
Yeah,
Because with Vertigo, it's more about verticality.
Yeah.
And all the points are kind of close, and Dust 2 is more
Ancient,
wide.
you only have 5 CT.
Yeah.
I think you only have 5
I think
T as well.
I think from that point of view, then it's so that it eliminates kind of randomness. You know what you get. You're just getting these 5 positions, and that's it. Because it was kind of, when you think about it, it's like this dynamic of different spawns, right? In 1.6, we're counting spawns because every
Source.
3 rounds or 4 rounds, like
loop back on it.
you get the same spawn. So like if they rush long, you're guessing that had the long spawn, and 3 rounds from now they'll have the long spawn again. So you're remembering it, right? So you can play for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but that's the thing. That's what I'm really interested with Vertigo. Obviously, I hope teams don't just do the classic, oh, they've given us a new doorway, let's just block that doorway and do the classic plays you'd normally do with the map. I hope we actually see some creativity. But that's it. Like, we'll get to discover how different teams, in-game leaders, etc., in a short period of time look at this new problem and look how to solve it. But the economy changes is the most exciting one, I think. So for people who missed it, on the pistol round, if you plant the bomb on the T side, but the CTs defuse, aka win the round, you only get a $600 bonus instead of an $800 bonus, which essentially before, if you bought Kevlar and you got the plant on the pistol, you had like 20.
Is that only for the pistol or for all rounds you get 600?
I think it's all.
I think it's all.
Yeah.
All, yeah.
Plant is now
But for the
$600
pistol, it was
bonus.
the most impactful.
Yeah,
round,
yeah,
because
of
the Ts would
course.
get the bomb down and make sure they
Just
could
the way you
fight
said, I
below.
was like, was it like, what was
Well, how
the
many
change?
times are we gonna fuck that up in the cast this weekend?
It'll be
Oh,
fine.
you got the extra $800. Ah, fuck, 600.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty, that because we'll be so hyper aware of that, right?
Yeah.
But now it's really interesting because when the Ts would get the bomb down on the pistol round, not a lot of kills. even if you got a couple of kills, so you're buying like a few extra nades, right? And you're going like Galil's contact. That's what you were doing. Like it was just contact, and you were outgunning people because the CTs had to choose util and MP9s, or if you got kills, maybe you could afford the
drop an AK to a team. Well, not on the CT side, but the T side, someone gets a couple kills, drop an AK to a teammate, and then all of a sudden you just bang people out.
That's the thing that you could still do that now if you get enough kills on the pistol. Yeah. But one thing that I think, because you're going to be looking at like 2,500 to like 2,650 if you don't get kills. Yeah. So in those second rounds, I wonder if we'll go back to teams having a lot more Tech 9 or Mac 10 set pieces.
Right? Surely they do, right?
It have to be an option.
So, yeah.
Or will they just fucking eco?
Yeah. Well, if you eco, then you get 2,400 next round, right, as the loss. And then you're fucking in the money after that. So you can have full gun round. You could even get like Deagle and Deagle for that round, and then still be able to get a full gun.
It's like it reverted us to like old school Counter-Strike of like pistol round, you lose, save.
Yeah. But there's more decisions to be made now.
Yeah,
you have more options.
Yeah. Then you're like gonna be looking even more at the small things, like you'll buy a Deagle, or some other guy will buy a smoke and a flash, one guy will buy a P250, and then you're just trying sort of to get 2 kills, right? Yeah. So then if you can win the next gun round, then they're gonna have to be on an eco. I like the economy changes. I think they're subtle enough where they address the issue at hand, but are not going to have
a crazy impact,
crazy, some sort of butterfly effect down the line on the economy or anything like that.
Which is good from Valve, like inch your way into it, right?
Yeah, sure. You'll have situations where you kind of ends up screwing the T's in some, but that's those scenarios aren't going to be very. They're not going to happen very often.
Well, they lowered the A4 to 3,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they lowered the CT incendiary to 500.
Yeah.
Well, I think the incendiary one is the interesting one.
Well, do you think it's the money or the nerf?
The spread? The money or the
I
nerf?
think the nerf is too strong.
I think it's too strong?
I think they nerfed it too much.
Because they decreased it by like a second and a half?
I'll tell you.
5.5
I had it
seconds
open.
now,
So
something.
what the fuck?
They decreased it by like a second to 2
They
seconds.
reduced the spread by 30%.
That's a lot.
Reduced duration by a second and a half.
Yeah.
And reduce the price by 100. So the price thing is like, okay, you can get it more often. In the pistol now, you can buy that and dualies.
Smoke. Yeah.
Or smoke, yeah. But I think the spread, obviously for some things, people reference the banana, and now you can, you have to molly one, nade the other, like it was kind of in CSGO.
Wasn't it a T-sided map anyway?
It was getting there towards the end of CSGO.
Yeah, but...
I know.
Yeah. But I think... More so, for that, the problem isn't as much the spread. The problem is like in trade of utility, you always lose now because it's shorter.
Yeah, they molly car. Like you molly banana, they molly car.
Yeah.
So, well, they win.
Yeah.
They always win.
They molly 2 times, right? And that's it. Like it's crazy. So, and I think also it will change the meta on some maps because on Nuke, for example, the deep CT molly, they can just run through it.
Yeah.
Or run, either it doesn't cover everything, or because of the reduced damage, you can just beat it and sort of take a little bit of damage and not even care about it, So I think that might be something where we see some of those butterfly effects.
I almost think it's on some level, and I know we don't normally think of it from this term, but it almost feels like it creates like a little bit too much of a complication in my mind for like the casual player. And I know on some level we're kind of...
It's an extra detail to think of, but that detail is a big detail.
But like if someone just randomly has like a CT Molotov they picked up and they're like, wow, why did this expire? So, like...
I will say I like the change to the flames.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, decrease the pillar,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I also like the blue tinge they've given. It's subtle enough that it's like...
Fire doesn't look like that, but we don't care.
Oh, fuck, mate. When I used to use a blowtorch, shit would be blue.
Oh, okay.
It's hot enough, baby. It is blue.
But I think that I see what you're saying.
Fucking engineers over here, Jesus fucking Christ.
I see what you're saying, Jason, in the sense that it's like an added layer that you wouldn't be thinking about.
Yeah.
But
it's weird to see them make that change that with this one almost feels like it was geared for pro play, which is like out of the wheelhouse of Valve. Like normally things are kind of geared for the casual player.
But they would have used a lot of
Here's
data.
my question. Can you swap out Molotovs with E?
Can you what?
Can you swap out Molotovs with E? Like if you're a CT and you have an incendiary,
okay, and
you're
it's on the ground,
by a T that dropped a molly when he died.
Well, you just drop it and pick it up.
Okay, well,
Just G it.
Okay, what if it's too far away? Like they're out with guns sometimes. You know, you run up to a weapon and try and save an off, and you're spamming E as you get close right before the round timer ends.
I see what you're saying. I think you have to drop it though. I don't think you can.
That's
But
a bit fucked up.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, but that's the thing. I think that if we're going to that nuance level, because I remember people like, oh yeah, there's going to be like a CT save molly strats. Like,
I'm telling you, man, if you're maximizing every percentage of a game,
oh yeah, of course,
you want
of
that
course.
T molly.
Yeah, but you're sounding like some of these casters of the past, Jason, that are harping on about a guy with a fucking Mac 10 making sure he gets all the kills. It's
Why
like,
did they change the duration?
of it?
Yeah.
I don't know. If they just changed the
To
spread,
make the gameplay like less stale, is that the goal?
if
I
they
mean,
just changed the spread, I think it would have probably been fine.
Yeah.
Like, and the price and the spread.
Both those changes at one time seem a bit aggressive.
Yeah, so a bit over the top. Because the one thing that you like, the exchange of util in my mind is the big thing. Because it's like your scissor paper rock. Like, because in utility in the past, there was no difference. Like your flash worked like my flash, your smoke worked like my smoke, your molly worked like my molly. But now it don't work like that. And that I think is a change that probably should be addressed because it is so drastic. I don't think they realize what type of ramifications that's going to have.
what they have done.
Yeah, that's going to be quite large.
You versus the molly she told you not to worry about.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. I like that.
I'm curious to see how that plays out in a lot of areas on the map. I think it's good because it is another one of these things that could potentially quicken up gameplay because Ts use util less often to block, more often to clear, right?
Yeah.
But CTs use util more often to block than to clear.
Yeah, but I mean, if you, what is it now? It was 7 seconds and now it's 5.5, right? I mean, I don't know. In now it's, you have to be even more, take more bigger risks if you're CT to really get the effect that you want to get from the incendiary because in a lot of situations they could just wait it out.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for you. I went to HTV looking at some stats for maps. I did LAN in the last 6 months, top 20 teams, all maps.
Okay.
The only CT-sided maps we have are Mirage.
Overpass, which we don't have anymore.
Mirage, which is 53% for CT. Nuke is 54% for CT. Overpass, whatever. And Ancient is 50.6% to 49.4.
So bang on 50-50.
But like...
Vertigo T-sided, Inferno T-sided.
Yep, Dust 2 is T-sided, Anubis is T-sided.
Yeah.
What is that going to... Is this Molotov change, you think, going to be enough to swing Mirage, Nuke?
Are they trying to swing it?
I don't know, but like... Doesn't matter if they're trying to. Like, surely the Molotov change is going to...
I feel like this
is it going to move the needle enough?
I feel like they just wanted to change this only for Inferno. Like, that's... You know, like,
but this is the knock-on effect, right? It's like everything else is like a little sketchy now.
And the thing is, I think the A4 is better in my mind than the A1, like especially on LAN. I think it is a better rifle.
I think so.
Yeah.
I talked to Mezzi today. He said he thinks the A4 is better, or the A1's better.
How's he going lately, mate?
That's fair.
Come
That's
on
fair.
now.
Yeah.
Fuck, I know.
Yeah.
Mate, I think the A4 on LAN is better. Like to be fair, he does play LAN. I was only joking, Mezzi. But I think you would find a divided answer from
Endpoint
pros,
Mezzi.
with that one right there. But
Do you think it's enough of a change to get more people to use the A4?
the A1 is still cheaper though?
I mean, wouldn't the ideal be just make them the same price and equalize them and other, like find a way to make them as close as possible for different, like you obviously with the A1 you get like the lack of tracers, you get the silent spam, you get a little bit more secrecy, a little bit more confusion.
Slower
A4
fire
is
rate.
more bullets, right? In the faster fire rate. So wouldn't you want to like tweak those things and have them at the same price and be like, make your decision how you want to play this round?
I am interested how much $100 will really change, right? Because now you need 3,650 to go A4 armor, right?
Yeah.
So whereas it was only 3,750 before, but it feels really cheap. Like I always get caught off guard still to this day when you go A1S armor and you're 3,550. It's like, what the fuck? Like this seems so cheap. Like what's going on here? When that price, I'm thinking about Famous territory. You know, like I'm thinking, but it's because you have Utah with it. I don't know. I don't know how much of an impact that'll have. I guess we can track it at this event and we can see how many more people. But I think it's going to be also position dependent. If I'm playing A ramp on Vertigo, I want to have the A1S because I want to be able to spam the A ramp smokes without being punished with traces. Right. If I'm in a position where there's a lot more of that type of traction, then I would probably want the A1 over the A4. But I think in a head up fight, I would want the A4. Like if I was having like a duel where it was going to be more like 1-on-1 or whatever, and I understand that you have more ammo and you have fire fast higher
Do you want some old fashioned?
Nah, I want some more water.
Higher, faster.
Faster, higher,
Stronger.
higher rate of fire.
Daft Punk.
I actually tried to pull it off and I failed.
Faster rate of fire. Is that what I want?
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah,
The
but
9th time.
look, I don't know. I just think that these little nuance changes are going to be positive overall because, first of all, there's more to discuss, which means there's more decisions for them to make, and we get to see how they tweak them. I think, again, on the incendiary one, I thought it was initially not as drastic, but I didn't realize it was 30%.
30%
spread.
is a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a ton.
Like if it was 10%, I'd be like, okay. Or 15%. 30% seems like an awful lot.
I think they just need to cut that to like 15%. And
Well,
then,
put it back to 7 seconds and keep it at 30%, and we'll see.
or maybe that, yeah.
Right? Because we can't have a bit of both. We can't have a bit of both. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we need to buckle in and think that you have to kind of mentally assume that these changes will be there for at least like 3 months, right? So they
At
can
least
test things out.
Yeah, unless it,
In 3
unless it
months
has
feels like a
such
minimum.
a detrimental effect immediately.
Yeah, unless there's a catastrophe, like an absolutely catastrophic change.
Yeah. Well, you're still going to be able to do things like block up, block squeaky.
I
right?
think maybe, I don't know if their maybe goal is, or they think it should be used to block off choke points, right? But it shouldn't be able to be effective on open areas of the map. I think maybe that's what they're trying to achieve. Because if you look at it, okay, you can still use the incendiary for B entrance on Inferno for deep banana, like where you throw the smoke. You could molly that off. You could molly off apps, boiler, whatever. But this, like in the middle of the bottom of banana, it
with
covers
broom
everything.
and logs, yeah.
And you can't stand anywhere. That's kind of, maybe
Yeah.
too scummy. I don't know.
And also, you think about the exchanges that would happen then. The T's would sacrifice smokes to hold on to map control to negate the incendiary. But is that a bad thing? This is the thing.
Yeah.
We're only going to tell once we see it playing out, And at the moment, it's just speculation. We will be able to see in 12 hours time from now.
And I think this is the heart of the
a bit more than
frustration. The heart of the
15,
frustration for the players is like probably this first event is going to look really scuffed in a lot
Perfect.
of ways. Yeah, but then like after the player break, I think is when we'll start seeing teams like feel a little bit more comfortable with it and actually be up to date with it.
Yeah. I think it's tough to know what the goal from Valve is with a lot of this stuff, but I think the fact that maybe the game plays a little bit quicker because of it, right, is always fun.
Yeah.
I don't think fast Counter-Strike is the only way to play CS, but chaotic Counter-Strike normally tends to be more exciting,
Yeah.
right? Like unless it's dumb, like you can have dumb CS that's fast, but you can have like good heavy hitting Counter-Strike that's fast and that's exciting, and there's
Yeah.
trade clutch,
Like phase ends on Ancient.
like NIP Amcal on Overpass.
Shut the fuck up.
Jace's
Jesus
favorite game.
Christ.
Jace's favorite game. You know what is interesting is it's a bit of a double whammy at this event because we had Bet Boom Dacha with Dust 2, but before that we didn't have Dust 2 played. Then obviously there was CCT with Dust 2 as well, but that was online.
Yeah.
But we're going to get Dust 2 at a tier 1 LAN event, right? Well, I guess Bet Boom was a tier 1 LAN event. They only had 8 teams though.
Is it yeah, I don't even know how to categorize those because I wouldn't put it as
We
tier
categorize
one.
it however you want, Jason. This is America.
I mean, I think see that's with America. It's apple pie and freedom. I don't know why I said guns. Yeah, but like that's I don't know that it's a little side tangent, but I mean it felt like maybe a tier 1 because some of the teams that were there. But I mean those events always feel more tier like without the prestige, without like the history.
Yeah. Still had
We're at a point in
fucking,
Counter-Strike where
Without an analyst
yeah,
desk,
400K,
of course. No
400K.
analyst desk.
Well, Jason couldn't take your job at that
But
one.
3-4
Yeah.
hosts.
they
Why
asked
not?
me, I just said nah, I'm good this time around.
400K first prize.
Did it for
right?
you.
Or was it 300K?
Thank you, Jason. Thank you so much.
Either way, it's a lot of money. But Dust 2, and then the double whammy part being Vertigo with drastic changes. So if you don't ban Vertigo, you may play Vertigo. And if you're an underdog team, you better be picking Vertigo to try and capitalize on the...
Have any of the teams here played the new Vertigo? I know Mal's played a bunch of Dust 2. No, it wouldn't have been.
No. Most of them were traveling.
Yeah, because Dust 2, yeah, that's right.
They may have played it in
Dust 2
practice,
came
but
in
nothing
first.
officially.
Right.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see that in play. But there have been teams who have played it. Like Mal's NXT were playing it, I'm pretty sure. And they were doing like that crane boost.
And
all that
Zip's
stuff.
bringing all their tactics into the main team.
Yeah, I think so. What are you doing?
Taking
here?
pictures? He wants a social media post is what he's doing.
He's fading fast.
No, I want to post it for the... Who, me?
Interactions?
Yeah.
Maybe. No, I want to post it on the Discord.
Okay.
People that
Oh,
were
that's-
recording an
that's
episode.
adorable, yeah.
Yeah. What else is happening at this event?
A lot of stand-ins.
Dexter isn't making it.
Dexter's not here.
No, I think Stryker brought that up on HTV and Film when I did it last week. It was like it was sources that that'd be the case, but it makes sense. Like he's Russian and he only joined the team a couple of weeks ago, so the amount
I was
of
going to
time
say
that
it's
he
not
went
the
to-
Russian part. It's just like the lack of time to actually
Well,
properly.
it's
apply for
definitely a
this.
little
the
bit the
Russian
Russian part.
Well, yeah, but all spirits here.
Yeah, but it's the Russian part and the time part.
Sure.
It's not one or the other. It's both.
Wasn't a problem for Nico those who like came in last minute
Speaking
because he's Danish.
Speaking for the entire country of the
America.
United States of America, it's not the Russian part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
it's-
country you were in a Cold War with, probably, and still are.
That was like 80, 70 years ago.
Yeah, still happening, Jason. I don't know if you've been paying attention to those geopolitics. Yanko does.
Guns and geopolitics.
Yeah,
Great podcast.
definitely. Let's talk about that now. Let's just think of how to solve world peace right here at Talking Counter.
Shout out to Yugoslavia.
We noticed at dinner until you rocked up, and this isn't a dig at you by any means, but we had Dinko from Ireland, we had Yanko, Serbia, we had Steele, Canada, we had Alex, the United Kingdom, we
Trace.
had Matthew from Switzerland,
Yep.
we had Trace from America, and me from Australia.
All different countries.
All different nationalities.
That's beautiful.
How cool are we?
That is pretty fucking cool.
Are all of those countries in the UN?
I kind of forgot how cool.
Yeah,
we
so
are. Jesus Christ. Why has he done you like that?
okay, this was a dig at Serbia. Yes. We are in the United Nations, constantly getting reamed out by the same United Nations. Right? All the fuck off.
That was good. That
I'm
build
not
up to that
getting
was so nice.
Oh, dear.
I'm not getting
So
into
Counter-Strike.
it.
Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike is
So
great.
Heroic with a stand-in and Stewie 2K for G2. Are we excited about that yet? Yanko?
Oh yeah, I talked to them during the lobby as well. They practiced with Stewie this last week
Can't believe it.
with 150 or 170 ping.
That's some Stewie dedication.
Bet they didn't play the new vertigo.
He had to wake up at like 2, 3 a.m.
He's in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the worst time zone. to have
It's
to do
9 hours time zone difference. So they would start at like 11, 12 a.m. for them, and or like 12 or whatever,
I
and
mean-
it would be 3 a.m. for him.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Okay, that's dedication. Well, at least
But-
they practiced a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's also, when I asked Nico, like, so what was the practice, like, it was like, well, it was better than not practicing.
Yeah.
Nico's calling this event, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Tough.
Well, I
pressure.
don't know. I mean, yeah, I think
I think he just.
I think he'll
just call super loose.
yeah, I think he'll be able to do like a decent job for this tournament, like
With the players they have, even with Stewie being a little bit out of practice, I think he should still be able to just like kind of play a default into a mid round or call something out of.
which is
spawn,
how
right?
they should play with their
Yeah,
players anyway.
Like Stewie's great in mid round. Mondesi, you have to imagine, makes good decisions in the mid round.
Yeah.
Nico's really good in mid rounds.
Well, if the mood's good and everyone's contributing, then that's a. I mean,
and that's where the no pressure comes in.
Yeah.
Is it's easy to keep a good mood when you don't have expectations
Yeah.
and pressure.
And they're referencing the fact that also, if they can make the playoffs, they will have a big boost because of Stewie.
It's going to
and-
be tough though. They have
Falcons
at the first game.
and then Vitality Monty
Yeah.
winner.
I think they can handle Falcons. I'm not super worried about the Falcons game. I'm gonna meme the shit out of it tomorrow about Falcons upsetting them.
I
But
think
I think Monty is gonna be tough for them, and I think Vitality would be really tough for them.
Monty's not going to be that tough for them.
I think
Falcons
Monty's
are
like
hard.
Monty's one of those teams that like he just is unexpectedly a tough matchup for a lot of like they have some hard hitters, but like they just kind of creep out of nowhere. I feel with Monty.
Bro, Stico
you
just joined the team and they have Haji as a stand-in.
Would you put?
Oh, do they have a stand at this event?
Well, I mean, they don't have a fifth, kinda, so he's like playing for them this
Would
year.
you
know-
put Monty above Falcons?
Yeah,
What the fuck is wrong with you? How many have you had? 15?
I would.
You put Monty above Falcons.
You're
The
fucking
team
crazy,
we
Jason.
just had a sticker and has a stand-in.
Yeah,
You're
dude.
crazy.
Krasnow, Waro, Demka is a
I
pretty
think
fucking
Demka.
six core.
I think Demka's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't. I would.
Krasnal and Voro are very good at tilting at each other.
Yeah, but like fuck that shit. That region is always known for having players that tilted each other. It's been the whole
Yeah.
case over the years. Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
There's no love lost over there.
Yeah, you get fucking aggressive. You have a good time. You go party. Take it on the enemy.
But this is the thing. Falcons had some.
They had like a rebound event from a
With
catastrophe
8
to
teams.
like
I know, but with those type of players, I think probably a lot of it is just getting those first couple of wins under their belt.
Yeah, but my problem with Falcons is like I just look at that roster. I'm like, where's the fucking power in this roster?
It's the power of friendship.
Exactly.
It's
You've
the-
proven my
yeah.
fucking point.
The
Like,
power
The power of family.
Yeah.
who's getting shit done on that team? Because like Sampaio's been quiet. It's like you got Dupree, which is I love Dupree. But like you add with Madden and Snappy, I feel like those 3 players, if Dupree can get back to like his old Astralis ways versus like kind of the more passive, supportive
Magis
role-playing-
has to be like Magis boy.
Yeah.
Like he can't be like modern day Magis.
I just look at that team and I'm like, it's great, but like it's cool. I love all the players. The names are nice, but how are you going to get shit done?
Yeah, I don't know. I still think that I would just edge Falcons over G2
Really?
in the best of one. I know in the best of one anything can happen, but
Yeah.
like the logical side of me has to favor the team that actually has its roster. I think Mondesi is without a doubt the best player in the server. I think if it was like
Who's the second best?
Nico.
it has to be Nico, yeah.
I mean, who else?
And
can you
then
say?
probably Magisk.
Yeah.
And then
Stewie.
but he's not the worst player in the server.
Who is?
I don't know, but he could not. There's a chance that you could argue that he's not the worst player in the server.
He's not.
Yeah,
Or maybe he is. Depends on how Snappy
we're
plays.
about to find out. Yeah, exactly.
but I wonder what map they end up playing.
Not Vertigo, best of
No,
one.
Vertigo would be definitely banned.
Yeah.
No Vertigo, no Anubis for Falcons. And
It'd
what's
be-
their
it'd be
permaban?
bad if it
Inferno?
ended up for Nuke if you were G2. You wouldn't want it to go to Nuke. No Mirage.
Okay, well here's the question that we're getting to at the heart of this.
Ancient or Nuke, I guess.
Like Ancient probably, yeah.
I think they like their Nuke, maybe even Nuke.
Is G2 making playoffs?
Within their group, it seems unlikely, don't you think?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's like Vitality, but who's on the upper side?
Mouse?
Let me
And-
look it up right now.
Come on, Jason.
Nope, that's what I wanted.
A Liquid Complexity. It's Liquid versus Cole
No.
in the opener.
Yeah, and Mouse. So they would have to beat like.
Who did Mouse
Well, I mean, it's doable.
Mouse play 9Z.
Okay, so that's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have to beat like Complexity or Liquid or Falcons.
So it's possible.
It's
Yeah.
possible for them to beat these
Unlikely,
teams.
but possible.
I think it depends. Like
I think-
if they play better individually because they're like there's no
Looser.
pressure and they're playing a little bit more loose. Like in that sort of a environment, the players need to deliver,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
they need to
Step up to the plate, take the
to
onus.
put up the numbers, and that's definitely possible for G2. And if they do that, they can make the playoffs. And if they're also quiet on top of everything else, they'll lose in the last game in the lower bracket or something like that.
I have some weird gut feeling that G2 is going to look good this event. I don't know why. I know that I'm
Because
just, wait, let me say
because
this, I see this look of your disgust.
because Nico is calling.
Exactly.
You're a Hooksy hater.
No, I love Hooksy. I actually really like Hooksy. I think he gets a lot of undue hatred, but about his game and about the way the team plays. But I just have a gut feeling, and it's not grounded in any kind of logic or reality. But I think this idea of coming into an event with no pressure. Okay, maybe it is a little bit of logic. This time of coming into an event with like no pressure and like no expectations to him. You have someone who in Stewie who I think is like he's going to be really good for the attitude and the environment of the team, and he's focused on his strength is mid rounds. His strength is making a play in the mid round. And if he can be effective at that, I think that's going to open up a dimension for even if he just goes 1-for-1 every single round and opens up a gap for Nico or Mondesi, it's like that. What more could you ask of him?
This is the problem I have. I understand that 2 of the 4 players on G2 are good. I'm not counting Stewie because he's not actually part of the
Yep.
team. 2 of the 4 players are good. The other 2 are not good.
I think
Right? If
Yeah,
a team like can practice.
I think Hunter is good, and he's playing bad.
When
at
was the
moment.
last time Hunter played good?
Cologne 23?
That was almost a year ago.
I actually
Jason.
don't know. I actually don't know. I haven't looked at the stats, but let's not lie. He's a good player. Like you don't just lose intelligence and like how you play the game. He's having a crisis at the moment.
But
with
he's
his
old.
transition to CS2. Yeah.
Like he has everything going against him at the moment. Like unfortunately,
How old is he? He's 28.
28, 29.
Who, Hunter?
Yeah, 28 or 29.
28, I think.
Is Nigo 27?
No, Nico's
26. No, he's older.
Nico's
Nico's
27.
Yeah, so
this
there's a 1
year,
year
yeah.
age difference, I'm pretty sure. There's-
Holy shit, Nico's 27.
Yeah, right. He'll be doing the device in-game leading arc before
Soon,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah, couple years. No, it just for me, if that's the
do they
case,
wanna try?
if they're able to beat a lot of these teams, what does this say about top level Counter Strike? What does it say?
If
about
G2
top-
is able to,
yeah, like if here's how it happens. Like I can definitely get on board a Monacy carry train. I can 100% get on board Monacy just putting everybody in his backpack and dominating because I think he is one of the 3 best Counter Strike players in the world right now. Monacy,
I think he's
Donk, and
the
Zywoo.
best. I think he's the best.
I don't think so.
There's a conversation to be had about Zywoo, Monacy, Donk,
Yeah.
right? Doesn't matter your order, but those are the 3 best Counter Strike players in the world right now. And he could hard carry. He could do simple. He could do a simple mode. And then everyone else just has to maybe get their kill or maybe have a 1v2 or maybe do something that contributes to the game, especially now MR12. So I'm not ruling out G2 winning, but I just wonder what this says about the rest of the teams and the rest of the quality of Counter-Strike if, as a team, G2 beat other teams.
I don't think you have to think about it as like almost like a lower quality of Counter Strike just because of all the changes. It's now
But
Counter
the
Strike.
game should have evolved past the thing that you're excited about. The game should have evolved past the point where, because like Stewie hasn't been a top tier professional Counter-Strike player doing damage in Counter-Strike in, when did Liquid go to shit? 2020?
Jason was
Who
there.
was coaching then? I don't know.
It was the pandemic. We'll blame that.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2020, yeah.
So 2020, right? So Stewie, after that point, what did Stewie do? Did he play for EG?
Yeah.
Okay, so Stewie hasn't.
He had the thing with Malik, Starbucks,
That's right. Yeah,
Made us good on that.
yeah, we did. So, but this
Stargate.
This is not to take away from the type of player
It's been taken.
Stewie can be or anything like that. Like that's not to be the case, but he hasn't competed at the highest level in a long time. And I feel that the game, if it hasn't evolved drastically in that time, then that says a lot about the game.
I think this is some of the frustration that we have with like top pros transitioning into CS2 is the game does now, like I've seen, who was tweeting about it? Was it, I remember there was someone tweeting about it, about how they feel like, I think it was Smuya, which, I mean, take it or leave it. But it was saying like he feels like any random like noob can just like swing and like get a kill and like getting kills. And you talk to like pros and you talk to some players and they say it feels easier to get
shoot.
kills in CS2. And I think with the faster nature of the gameplay that CS2 allows, I think you have a little bit more, I don't know if randomness is the right word, but I feel like towards the end of CSGO, right, like every team really got caught into protocols, into smoke and utility timings and like when they rotate and everything. And I think a lot of that has changed and I think it hasn't quite caught up yet. I think the way teams play things has not fully caught up yet.
There's still levels to it though. Like that's the reason we can say Zywoo, Monacy, and Donk are above everybody else is because they are better than everybody else. And the main part of that is actually shooting. Like
Well,
Donk just shoots better than
yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Like he actually shoots better than everybody else.
Well, actually, I mean, that's a fun conversation because, like, I remember I've been asking pros at every single event since Katowice, like, what makes Donk so hard to handle? And at Katowice, it was just like he fucking shoots harder than anyone else. And then as the events have gone on, it's movement. It's like he understands the movement a lot better than everyone else. And then it's like how he takes fights and how he crouches and how he does all of these things in his gunfights.
But they're just breaking down why he shoots
right.
so good.
But there's a lot more into shooting other than just
but
clicking
Then
the fucking
aim.
mouse.
He's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
he's not
but-
playing like he's not playing Kovacs or something, and he's just like shooting at dogs.
So remember Elysian, the podcast,
Yeah.
talked about his just crosshair. Like whenever he's
Yeah, his
rotating, his crosshair
placement
play is impeccable.
yeah.
It's amazing.
He knows
Yeah.
where the enemy will be.
Yeah.
Right, and he has his crosshair at that right height for the headshot every time. But I don't know. I don't know. I think I agree with the sentiment that people are saying that CS2 feels like easier to shoot. I don't know why that would be. Is that because there's still a bias towards swinging? Like, because I think in CS2, you're always more, especially
Definitely online.
on higher ping,
Yeah.
you're more beneficial taking the initiative and taking the fight. But Counter-Strike was already trending in the direction where you needed to be reacting to the information or already making the play. Like Heroic ushered that in to always be doing something, and you would always be then catching the opponents off guard, whereas the polar opposite of that was the old VP, whereas they would sit and wait and ice you out, and you would go for those plays, and they'd punish the play because they were holding those angles. VP obviously aren't doing that style exclusively anymore because they have electronic here now, and they're changing some things up. But they were the two contrasting styles kind of clashing,
Yeah.
right? But we were already seeing the popularity of taking fights, at least as a team, to take information from heroic. That was big CT meta.
It's hard though when like the pace of the game changes to be faster. It's like harder to be that reactionary because like your reaction time goes from maybe you have 15 seconds to react to like 8 seconds, 10 seconds. Like like that shrinks so much.
There's a lot more options now. I think, especially with the breaking of the smokes.
I think maybe the sad thing about it is how we just did the map stats. There's like no real CT dominant. Like CTs are really hard done by, which is also why like cool, the money changes are nice, but like then you nerf the Molotov while also making it cheaper, and it's like
but okay, so before
I actually think CT sides are gonna feel
they're gonna
more
suffer
restricted.
more.
I think they're gonna hurt.
But the thing is, before the worst case scenario as a CT would win pistol, they plant, lose follow up, force with 1400 third. That was worst case because you would have nothing, right? Whereas now you can still lose second, but I feel that you have a bigger advantage going into second now. Like,
yeah, and I think also what part of that statistics is what maps are T-sided because of that, what Chad just mentioned, Like if the CTs are able to have
3-round guaranteed start.
Not as difficult of a start, how much will that result in an increase of, CT sides being won across the whole thing? But what you said about, you would hate it if G2 did it because what does it say about the CS? I think actually it just tells you how much players have evolved, and how much the game has evolved from a standpoint where you can just plug and play because people are familiar with a lot of the concepts, like
especially in Europe. Mostly in Europe.
You bring like any decent pro into G2 and you go on Inferno, and I mean they know all the ways to take banana. Yeah. It's not like G2 is doing something that no one else is doing. It's just about reads and who's doing it and hitting the right timing for that stuff, right? So you need a little bit of time for the guy to practice that or to just maybe. Well, actually, if that is his position that he plays, he will know the lineups for the flashes, for everything, but just sort of to play with the guy to get a feel for how the other guy likes to play, his timings, his pace, more than anything else. And I think that's really cool. I mean, bro, even when I was coaching, which was 5 years ago, I mean, you had players players only knew their nades in a strat, right? If I told a guy like, outside of maybe the most basic of utility, right? Yeah. Like smoke window and Mirage and that stuff. But, you had a guy who didn't know how to smoke market window from B apps because he's like the A apps player, let's say, or whatever. He doesn't really like do that stuff or anything like that. But now everyone is so much better with utility that you can just on the fly in the mid round say, okay, you do this, you do that, and then the dropping of nades helped a little bit because you can dump it. You can dump it on the upper, which makes more sense, and have the riflers go in, and all of that stuff. So I think it's actually, I don't think it's impossible for them really. Like they have they have tough.
It's
teams.
A doable group, but it's a hard group.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be like disappointed if they made it or not because it's G2. But from what you said, I think it's fine, right? It depends a lot on how the players will do individually. I don't think they'll have like glaring problems, let's say on T side with looking lost or not knowing what to do or anything like that. I think they'll be fine.
I think it's more like it'd be less acceptable for a team like Complexity, or more disappointing for a team like Complexity not to make playoffs than it would be for G2, for example.
Yeah.
Even though when I put them on paper, even with Stewie standing in, I still have a tough time backing Cole, even though they had a good run at the EPL, right? Like they beat Navi.
Yeah.
But it's still, I don't know. There's something.
Navi lost to Complexity, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking frauds.
Well, Navi here.
I told Alexis today. I talked to him for the lobby, and I said, listen, major is such a big thing. You get one event off after the major, like
we give you one pass.
And Pro League was that one event that's gone now. So now you have to come back to reality and try to do something in these tournaments. The glory from the major has faded away. It's worn off by now. So
Mal's come in as one of the hot favorites of this one, sure.
Oh yeah, they gotta be. They gotta be, for sure.
I'm looking forward to seeing Spirit, man, in a proper and especially if it comes to the stage. I mean, they got FlyQuest, and then
That's a really good opener for them.
yeah, and then they play Navi or Big,
It's a shame.
which could be big.
Big without Gob.
that one's weird to me.
Yeah, but
It was weird his tweets because it's like
I didn't read his tweets. What did he say?
Well,
He said something like, they accomplished their goal at Pro League of making the playoffs, and he was already getting work.
he
on,
was
what coming
blindsided.
next. He was already getting work on doing prepping with the next stage of analysis and what they want to do moving forward. And then he was removed by a vote from the players. I think he said even said
Here you
4
go.
out of 5.
Wait. He even replied to the tweet from Big instead. And then instead of just me, but whatever. He says, I have given everything for the development of our team since I was asked to come back. Despite difficult circumstances and difficult decisions, I have always worked with the resources available and, together with the players, achieved and sometimes exceeded expectations. Our last goal was the EPL playoffs, which we achieved. With this knowledge, I was of course already working on further plans and analysis, and was accordingly shocked when this change was initiated by the majority of the players. I don't know what the future holds. First, I have to process the current feelings and need some time to recover from
He's
this.
pretty wrecked by it.
Which means there was a coup inside the team where they want to get rid of him. Obviously, Tabson not being a part of it, I imagine.
Yeah, that's how I took it as well. Probably 4 out of 5.
Which is also weird that,
The in-game leader.
Yeah, the players who are not the in-game leader don't want to work with the coach anymore.
Well,
It
we're
makes
making an
sense to me.
assumption there. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We're making
Unless you
assumptions.
know.
You think Tabson stabbed him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tabson? Tabby?
I don't know. I don't know. They have a very
It's
long history.
another stabby coming in.
They have a very long
Fuck's
history,
sake.
obviously. But I can look for Big. Their results have never been great, other than Legia jumping around on the stage in Cologne, and Smear. Other than that, their results have never really been great, right? And then
I thought he was going to go in front and look at
I
this
thought he was
score.
going to crowd surf.
what's their money at? Oh yeah, what's the next round looking like? All right, cool. No, but other than that, it's never been great. So I don't know. Maybe the change of getting rid of Gob is necessary for the team to.
So taking the emotion out of it, I took it as there's a younger generation of players that
JDC,
didn't kind of buy
Crimbo.
into his more
Well,
tactical.
Searson's not a younger generation.
Hey.
But Searson did live.
Searson's his own creature.
And he did depart. He has departed once before.
It was probably Searson who initiated it.
You reckon? He came back and
There's
thought,
no way.
I'm
It's
gonna
just wild. Just wild accusations.
Sitting in his dark room. And
I wonder what changes in their approach to the game, though, because I did think out of a lot of the teams, they did some things very big style, right? Like they would always be more conservative with the economy, right? They would, when other teams would force buy, they would do these 5-7 rounds with armor.
They always
and
felt like they
nades.
were very much like the textbook Counter-Strike team.
Well, yeah, but evolving textbook, definitely not full eco territory all the time.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they would take when they had money that you would see a team who would back their individuals would go, okay, we'll drop a couple of M4s and a few other guys will have less. These guys would go, 5-7s, armor, smoke grenades, and try and win the round a little bit.
And I
They're
think- I
used
think
to
they
the
have
high life, They want all the nades, they want the kits, they want the
That's
ops.
not CS anymore.
No, and I think the younger generation probably rubs against that a little bit and is just like, we want to. You can, say break out of the textbook, or just say we want to create a new textbook.
Yeah, I think the thing is that that style, and a lot of the time I'd be there questioning some of the decisions with the buys that they would have, but sometimes it would work. It's one of those things that is hard to kind of put your finger on. But it is interesting that they are going with that change. But I still don't expect anything from them. So.
No, yeah, of course not. Fucking big.
No. I actually feel bad. We did the 1xBet. I didn't just mean to make that an advert, but we did the power rankings for the group stage.
They don't sponsor the show, Jason.
I know.
It is this episode is brought to you by Pure Life Water.
Yeah.
They
Pure
could
Life.
though.
The Pure Life power rankings.
Yeah.
And we had FlyQuest down, I think, at 15th or something like that.
Who was 16th? 9Z? Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel bad about that because it was well, you know what those segments go to. The guy was like, you have to do this in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And you have to power rank 16 teams.
Yeah.
And we did the first take and it was 4.5 minutes. And he goes, do it again.
Do it again.
3
Yeah,
minutes.
Yeah.
So you don't even really get to talk through anything or explain anything. But I feel like FlyQuest at EPL deserved a higher ranking almost. But then you look at the teams and it's hard to.
You
I
put
don't know.
M80 over FlyQuest.
Yeah.
They didn't make the playoffs.
I put M80 over big.
Yeah, but M80 actually beat G2 once.
Yeah, in the mid bracket.
Yeah,
But it was full strength.
do you want me to list? See, this is the thing. Do you want me to list the teams that? You want me to list the teams that FlyQuest beat in the groups?
I know.
You know,
Plumbers, gardeners, and
yeah,
Construction
Pera,
again.
Pera, Boss, and NIP.
Yeah, but then in the playoffs they beat who?
Who did they beat in the playoffs?
it
BetBoom.
was
The BetBoom.
Betboom, that's right.
There you go. And they had a close series against who? Navi.
Liquid. Then they could have won that one.
Yeah,
But Liquid also aren't very good. So.
Have you guys?
That now, of course, yeah.
What's your feelings, thoughts, emotions on Virtus Pro with electronic? It's not looking as seamless as I was hoping it would be.
Well, it takes a while to adjust to new things, Jason. If you want to try something new in the bedroom, not everybody's going to be up for it immediately. It's
Yeah,
gonna
but you
What
know
was the last
what's
new
kinda-
thing you tried in the bedroom, Jason?
What or when?
Either, whatever you're more comfortable with answering.
Let's not worry about that. Back to electronic.
Was it an electronic device? Something
Talking about sex, back to electronics.
No, but like, remember when he joined the team? He's like, his interview was. He said that comment where he was just like, "I've always been like really interested of like working with James and like James' thoughts on the games." He's like, "I've always thought it would."
And
be
now
fun."
it's rumored that James going
And
to
now
be
it's
kicked.
and now it's like, oh, it takes time to adjust to a new style, new things, and it's like, so you're coming in and like, yeah, there obviously is going to have to be changes, but it's like, you guys are trying to go away from the James style now.
I thought what would happen is you get sprinkles of like pace changes, like what we saw from VP when they won the major as outsiders.
Yeah.
That's what I thought Electronic would bring, a bit more of that identity back to them.
I don't know why they ever went away from that. That's just good CS.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. But it seems like it's like a team that now just wants to run through smokes all the time, which is something Electronic likes to do. But when you have Flit and Fame and Norbert and James following you and
Yeah.
you just all get owned, it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You would
Yeah.
never run through a
It
smoke
looks
before.
way sloppier than I expected.
Yeah,
it to. 'Cause I was really excited for this.
It's a good
roster
word
change.
for it, sloppy. Yeah.
I think the problem is also they probably had more officials than scrims because they just said
crack time.
electronic. They went to Pro League.
Yeah.
Then after that, they played Bet Boom. Now they're coming here. You just need time to
Yeah.
practice so that they can get used to each other's timings and where electronic can get a feel for and then they can find the middle ground and it's so weird, this VP thing. It's so weird because the core of the team that won the major is still there. Most importantly, it's the same in-game leader, the same coach. It's like, why did their philosophy sort of shift?
so
And
much.
it didn't. I think it just happened. I don't know. Like
They went through a lot of shit right after they won the major,
because
though.
they changed like Norbert
changed-
for
they changed
Norbert for
Norbert, and then they
Chiron,
cut someone
and
in the middle of
Chiron
an
is
RMR.
like he was a rookie. Didn't know some of the basic stuff, and the problem is like it's very. I think it's hard for a rookie to come and play in VP
In that style, yeah.
Yes, in that style.
Yeah.
Like you have to be an experienced player so you understand the
But
timings.
Fame was a rookie.
Yeah, but he was like, I need to find a better word. But yeah, let's say trained, by James. You come in.
You
Groomed?
could put a
Yes, I was trying to find a better word than groomed.
Yeah, but people only associate that. People only associate that word negatively.
Yes,
But it's I don't.
It
think
can be
that-
a positive
exactly.
word. It can be a positive. We're going to take
Yeah.
Groom back.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, we're bringing Groom. No?
yeah, especially after I just watched Baby Reindeer.
How'd you like it? Was it good? It's weird, isn't it?
It's fucking weird.
But you can't look away. It's like a car crash, dude. It's like,
I don't want to watch it.
Just try one episode.
No, I'm cool. I like watching my things that aren't about anything.
You,
Anime?
You don't need to watch it.
I watched Fallout.
There's a lot of grooming in anime.
Fallout
I
was
feel.
good.
Depends on what anime you're watching, I guess.
True, yeah.
I'm normally watching.
That's called
things-
hentai, is it?
That's something else. Nah.
What were we talking about? VP. Yeah, I was
VP.
saying it's just so weird because
There's not enough.
I think
grooming
it
going
just happened like somehow to them. They don't even know how it happened, as if someone
not
put
bringing
something
it
in their
back.
drink.
we're not bringing it back.
We're gonna get flagged on YouTube for this
Oh,
one.
absolutely.
Great.
Who's winning this event? Or what do we think about FaZe?
Spirit.
Do we think FaZe will recover?
I don't know, man. Like
Dude, they just got to be exhausted.
Yeah, but they.
I don't fuck that.
They can't be tired of
I'm
it.
so tired of that. I'm tired of that fucking conversation. This excuse, like
they
just-
tired anymore.
I'm not saying it's an excuse. Like Look, they choose to play every single event in the world.
Respect for that, FaZe.
It's not an excuse.
I respect the
but
fuck
it's
out of
just
it.
a reality. Like, when do they have time to switch things up? Because they're at every single event.
I don't know. But I think FaZe are that type of team. Like, I think that's the FaZe identity. We rock up and we're ready to throw hands.
Dude, it's super impressive. They've been able to make it, I mean, every single final except for Pro League.
Yeah. Is that how we categorize it? FaZe, the team has made every single final except for
Every single final at an event that has a crowd larger than 100 people.
They do actually. They're the only team with a crowd buff.
No, we know the team that made every single grand final that was not on an island.
Yeah. No, wait. They were in Australia in the final.
That's not an island.
Yeah.
That's a continent.
It is an island.
Well, fucking Europe
Go on.
is a
Finish that
continent.
sentence.
Australia's an island.
I mean, if you want to look at it, fucking North and South America are an island. If you widen the fucking perspective enough,
Sure.
every continent is an island.
I like where he's going with this.
Eurasia is Africa is an island.
He's caught some wind.
Hold on, I'm
I like
checking.
that. I'm with you.
I feel like opening the globe.
None of us are geographers.
According to Britannica,
You know that's not the word.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
according to Britannica, an island is a massive land that is both
What
entirely
is it
surrounded
today?
by water and also smaller than a continent. By that
Okay.
definition, Australia can't be an island because it's already a continent.
Bang.
But this
Got
was from
you.
2016, so
I think
Yeah.
new research.
Yeah, that's a good point.
New
Maybe they
research
updated.
has been
There's been a lot of
There's
advancements.
been a scientific study. The future is here.
8 years ago.
I think Spirit wins.
The whole event.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw Donk walking today.
I actually kind of hope they do, to be honest with you. I think
Because
it'd be
they'll again, they'll beat Falcoes. They'll beat either Navi or Big.
Yeah.
And then they'll play FaZe in the upper bracket final. They'll beat them in that game.
You were seeing Donk walking around?
I just saw
Got
Donk
some
walking. and I was
17-year-old
like,
swagger.
He's so small, man.
Yeah, dude.
Bought all diapers. And
They can't even make a
What's the
jersey
meme?
small enough for it.
Dude, I got in the lift. I got in the lift, and he got in the lift, and I think his manager was in the lift as well. And then Magic's walked in the lift too. And Magic's has a Hello Kitty bag with his with his peripherals in it. And I go, Hello Kitty bag, Magic. So he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you're ready to go? Like, it's just talking.
Wow.
And he goes, yeah. And then he leaves the lift, and he goes, see you on land. And I go, we are on land. I was like, what the fuck?
Why's he
We
got
are
a
on land,
Hello
bro.
Kitty bag?
I don't know. Well, he's the weeby little dude, right? Like, and it's very fitting for him. But like, nothing wrong with Hello Kitty. I don't give a fuck.
No.
I'll watch anime. I'm all about it. So you think Spirit win? I think
Yeah.
like a lot of people overrated their loss in Bet Boom because they got blown out, right? I think it is concerning that they got blown out so badly, but I also think it was their first event back in 2 months. So I give them that, the fact that they didn't have any reps in. You know what I will be interested in? How the youngsters Zontix and Donk deal with jet lag. That's something that they will not have had to have dealt with before, I would
They're
imagine.
going to get a new line for the cast. Katowice they've never done on the big stage. Now they've never done it with jet lag.
Actually, what's the time difference from Siberia? Siberia?
It's close.
You fucking trolling me just.
No, that was
Now you're just fucking
I'll
with me.
What's the time in Siberia?
Is it in Siberia?
I reckon it's late as fuck.
You know, Siberia probably has like 3 time zones.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm
Donsk?
getting right now.
Is he in Donsk?
The Donk Squad.
He's got a whole fucking place named after
What
him.
are you
now.
talking about?
No, he's Tomsk. He's from
Tomsk,
Is it
maybe,
Omsk?
yeah.
I think it's Tomsk with a T.
Tomsk.
Tomsk, Siberia. Tomsk.
9:18 a.m. So
12
hours.
But he would have been in Belgrade, no?
Tomsk Oblast, Russia. 9:18 a.m. That's mental to think about, actually. I don't like that. It's messing
Dude, that's
with
an
my brain.
hour behind Perth time.
Yeah, but dude, he's like he's 17 years old. He's fine. Homeboy's playing like 7 prac games and 5 fucking FPL pugs. He's good. You remember yourself at 17. You could play till 6 a.m. and just be fucking top shape. You could. I've seen all of us do it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's I would actually kind of like Spirit to win the event. I like this like Spirit hype train that's building up. I think it'd be really cool if that kept going and like wasn't just like, oh look, Donk had another crazy event. They fucking
What's
lost
the
in
best
quarters.
final though?
Dude, give me
Spirit phase.
Okay.
No.
He's right.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to argue against Spirit Phase.
It'd be the most entertaining.
Volume 3.
No, I think, but I think at this
Volume
point,
5.
at this point, I'd like to see Mal's up against the Spirit, if anything.
You want to see Mao shit the bed?
Mao's
No, I
gonna
want to see the
lose in
rematch
se-
a week later on with the crowd.
Miles is going to lose in the semis to whoever they
Dude,
play. They're
at
going to
some
go straight
point-
to the semis
At
and
some
then they'll
point-
lose.
Okay, yeah, go. Do you think at some point Miles is going to get over the crowd obstacle?
Yeah, I don't think necessarily that it's a crowd obstacle
Okay.
at this point. You know, I don't know.
I think.
I mean,
think they're
it's-
good.
it's always hard to pinpoint what the
I
issue
think they're
is, to
good.
be
They're
honest with
legit. It's just like I think they'll need a couple more events maybe
Sure.
before
so
they.
you think it's going to happen, just not right now?
Yeah.
I think that it would be.
I think it's any day now.
If-
This Miles team.
if they want to. Okay, here's how they can get over the.
I mean,
hurdle.
they should. They're the number one team in the world. They should be the main favorite.
They-
No, but
you
no
didn't say
one
that
could.
last week.
You didn't say that last
No.
week?
Well, I was, the tone of my voice may or may have not implied
Look,
something.
if
Speaking
it's-
abstractly,
If
yeah.
it's a FaZe versus Mao's semi, and Mao's beat FaZe in the semi, that does a lot for the Mao's mentality.
Yeah.
Because they'll have beaten FaZe on a stage with a crowd where FaZe will 100% be the fan favorites. That's not even a conversation. So that would be huge for them to not only get past losing to their big brothers, but winning on a stage against a top team and then getting to a grand final. I think that is what they need to unlock themselves. And it's possible that could happen. As long as FaZe don't top the group, if Mao's top the group, like you said, go straight through the semis. Mao's the favorite, I think, to go through the top half of the bracket.
Do you want the cherry?
No, thank you, Jason.
Do you want the cherry? It's a Luxardo cherry. It's really good.
Mate,
Yeah,
Yang's got to go to
knock
bed. Don't you
yourself
see?
out.
This guy's almost asleep, man. He ain't shit.
No, I'm okay.
It's a legit cherry.
We're fucking losing Yanko over here. He's
You're
yawning.
not too-
he's
what the fuck do you
tired.
want?
He's ready for bed, Jason. We got to put him to bed, man.
Don't.
Gotta give him that last minute.
You're
sugar
not.
rush from the
Don't
end of the
use
show.
me as an excuse, Chad.
Mate, what's the time?
9:18.
It's almost bedtime.
It's the same time as it is in Tom Toblas.
Who do you
Russia.
think is going to do it, Chad?
Win the event. G2 with Stewie, and the whole crowd is chanting you.
USA.
Now let's go. Let me have a think here. Let me have a think. So
You got Vitality. You got Mouse. I'm not saying you have G2. You can't say that.
The Walking
you got
Dead
FaZe, You got Spirit. Are they probably the top 4? Vitality's in there.
What? Go down.
it has to be one of
Okay.
Mao's. It has to be one of Mao's, Spirit, or FaZe. I think it has to be one of those
You
three.
don't think Vitality can do it?
I think Vitality are missing something.
Yeah, my
Twists.
Boys, that shit ain't happening. Just chill.
What?
Did
It's
you
not.
see
He's
on
not going to
KRL's stream
Vitality.
where he
It's
had
not
like a Photoshop picture of Twist in a Vitality jersey on KRL's stream.
Why the fuck not?
CEO, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. For
My
me,
problem with
it's-
Vitality, I'm with you, because my problem with Vitality is like outside of Zywoo dominating, I think they look disorganized at the moment. Like something's not clicking. Something's no longer there.
yeah, I think that Apex is doing a lot in terms of having to micromanage a lot of the players, and because he does a lot of talking, and you can see he gets quite frustrated sometimes, which is classic with him. But it's like I feel that there needs to be more autonomy taken by the players in the team. It's what it feels like. And we had this big discussion last week, but yeah, I don't know. For me, it's either Mouse, Spirit, or FaZe. So if I had to pick one, you guys went with Spirit just to be different. And I don't know. I can't pick a clear winner.
I honestly wouldn't be unhappy with any three of those teams winning. I think that would each of them has a cool story too.
I think there's some factors that play into this. So Dust 2 Vertigo is a factor. How heavily do I think that plays in? Who's going to be adjusting the quickest to the economy adjustments? Which teams are going to have, a team, out of those three names, Yanko, a team that, and you always talk about this when FaZe take the timeouts, is when they have these kind of Tech 9 rounds and you say Neo calls it, they're really strong at those type of rounds.
Yeah.
So if second rounds are now more Tech 9 Mac 10 heavy as opposed to Galil Contact, that could be actually a pretty big boon for FaZe. Fuck it, I'll go with FaZe. Just because, no reason, I like FaZe.
I like that.
I like FaZe.
You see how none of us mentioned even Navi?
Who?
Exactly. Navi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not a sincere.
I hate their new jersey.
Born to win.
Get
Yeah,
that
it's
new
kinda
jersey
ass.
and light it on fire.
It gives me too many memories of Vitality in Paris because that jersey was the ugliest sin that I've ever seen a team have to wear.
I don't remember that.
And they won a major in it.
I don't remember
And
it.
it was disgusting.
Well, they
Sorry, whoever
matched
designed
the
those
trophy.
jerseys. Yeah, true. It was keeping in line.
Yeah.
Liquid lost to Eternal Fire in CCT final. That team.
Well, it's not that bad of a loss.
Are they dead?
Well, that's what the streets are saying. That's what the streets.
We
are
out there in the streets.
Streets of the cyberwebs. Yeah, they're not dead, but they're going through a whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
I still think NAF to complexity for floppy would be pretty good.
It's not happening. Chill.
But it'd be
NAF to
pretty
G2.
That's not
For
happening.
Nexa.
either. Everyone chill. Look what's cooking. Give them time.
That'd be pretty good. But if they didn't like the fact that Justin didn't take initiative, NAF doesn't do that either.
Twist to just.
I would fight that. I think he does in game. I don't think he like orchestrates like.
Did you read his interview?
Yeah, but I've also worked directly with him.
Yeah, but
So
what his interview?
Yeah,
I draw
Chad.
from my
Did you work
experience
directly
of
with him?
Working with him.
I played
Are you on a
against him.
first name basis with Keith?
I thought his name was Kevin.
That's the problem.
Yo, what's up, Kev? How we doing today?
What the fuck is a taco soup?
All right, so let's just do this because we're fading. We get to the end of it.
Hysteria.
We're about an hour and 15 minutes in, so this will be a
Yeah,
quick
we
one.
wanted a short one.
too long.
We wanted a shorty.
Yeah, top 3 teams from each group. So this group A is going to be
We can see it.
Mouse,
Yeah.
Vitality.
Mal's Vitality and
You got Complexity Liquid in there? You going to go Complexity or you going to go G2? I guess is the question.
well, because the only thing that you had positive to say about America was guns, I'm gonna go Vitality, Mouse,
I can't believe I fucking said that. Dude.
and
I can't believe that's going to be the
and you
fucking
know what?
clip.
That's
know
gonna
what?
be on your
I could
tombstone.
have said apple pie.
Yeah. Could have said freedom.
I could have said freedom.
Falcons, motherfucker.
What are you talking
So-
about?
I'm not jet lagged. Falcons.
V54 fam.
Who do you think does better, Complexity or Liquid?
I don't know. They play each other, so that's a direct. So
Not in the matchup overall.
it's a best of one. Not in the matchup overall. I think I think Complexity do better.
Yeah. Also, how ridiculous is this thing with like? I mean, maybe ridiculous isn't the right word. With Halzerg's like contract, like
It's a weird tweet, isn't it?
it's like
It's a
what
weird
was it?
announcement from Complexity.
it's-
We've made a decision. We're in the process of like
Yeah, well-
orchestrating everything on the back end.
or
We'll
like
let you guys
publish.
know.
We'll know it after Dallas or something. It's like I feel like they had to have extended them. No,
Yeah. Why
just
would you say it
reminded me.
otherwise?
because why would you say anything
Bro.
if you haven't done that?
Did you see the Stewie tweets?
What tweets?
I screenshot it because it's so funny to me. I'm gonna preface this. I fucking love Stewie, and I'm not gonna hold anything against the guy. But he put this tweet out. He goes, "I am Dallas bound. I'm back and ready to fuck shit up." American flag emoji.
Okay.
And he responds to that tweet and goes, "Anyone trying to go to a Wolves game?" And I was just like, you can't announce that you're back and ready to fuck shit up at a Counter-Strike tournament and then look to go to a basketball game at the same tournament.
Well, it's kind of like the era when he was playing.
No, I
I
don't know.
was just like,
I think because he tagged
Like-
Freakazoid, it might be like
Yeah,
maybe Freakazoid is like a Wolves fan and they're losing or something like that. I don't know.
no. Again, I know, Jake, and it's like it's fine, but at the same time, it's just like the public perception of what you're tweeting is like, don't do that. Just leave it at the first tweet. You're fine.
Yanko said he's only 25.
Who?
Stewie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's tweeting anything. He don't know what he's tweeting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
He's
he's
just saying
waffling.
things.
All right. So Mal's Vitality
And Falcons.
Falcons. Group A.
Not for me though.
Group B. All right. Who you got going? Who you got going out?
Well, Navi, of course. No,
Mouse.
Base Spirit.
Mal's Vitality. Give me a Monty. Get on the Monty train.
Mouse G2 complexity.
See, and you're laughing at me for being delusional.
I mean,
He didn't even say Vitality.
Complexity is magnitudes above
He
Falcons.
didn't even say Vitality.
Wait.
He said Mao's G2 complexity.
Oh shit, bro. You
Yes,
guys are a
Daddy.
fucking mess over here.
Yes.
Do you know how that happens?
Oh, I glossed over that. I
That
just
means
assumed.
that G2 have to top the lower side of the bracket. Means they have to win a best of one and a best of three.
Yes.
What he's saying is they're going to beat Vitality. He's saying
They're gonna
G2
beat
are going to
Falcons in the
beat
BO1 and then beat
Vitality in
Vitality
a
in
best of
BO3.
three. That's what he's saying. And you think I'm insane?
Well, you're both a little.
Remember
loopy
this
right now.
Chad moment. When it happens, we'll get back to
Actually,
it.
how the
And they're
fuck?
just gonna lose to like Falcons and Monty tomorrow and be
Yeah,
out of
just be
the
eliminated, be gone. Then we're getting those Wolves tickets, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Group B. FaZe,
Spirit.
Spirit.
Navi
You have Navi, VP, Big, FlyQuest. Just don't say FlyQuest. M80. Don't say M80.
Heroic.
Heroic, sorry.
Heroic have a standard. Don't say heroic.
We're not saying heroic.
So
FaZe, Spirit, Navi.
look, if it's not Navi, Simple's back.
Okay, I guess here's the question.
They're calling him. They're
That's
flying
like-
him in.
Dude, that might not even do anything for him.
Well, no, I don't think it would, but they have to replace someone.
Yeah.
Who would it be if it's not Navi? It'd be VP.
FlyQuest, obviously.
FlyQuest, yeah.
Fucking trolls. It'd have to be VP, right?
Well,
Well, I mean, they're not looking super
be
solid.
M80.
They almost lost to FlyQuest in Chengdu.
Yeah.
Okay, that was with Mir.
yeah, true. It was with me. So
M80 has a shot. A puncher's chance, we'll call it.
but they have just as much of a shot as Big have.
Yeah.
So
It's fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like
has
this,
to be Navi. If it's not Navi, there's big issues.
Is that a pun?
That's pretty good. That's not bad. That's some of your good work.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're on fire. You do your best work when you're jet lagged.
Yeah.
That's why I was going to be great.
You know, I don't work until the afternoon. What time's the first best of three tomorrow?
12:30 Central.
No, that's first
1:30
game.
Eastern. 7:30.
Is it 4?
Whatever.
Okay,
European
Mr.
time is.
Clock.
Mr. Clock.
This is how I live my
I thought it
life.
was Mr. Glock because he loves the guns.
I thought it was Mr. Cock because he's a dick.
L rhymes.
I'm leaving that one out there. Just hanging out. I want the whole world to just absorb that one.
It all rhymes with
How
Glock.
was your 1 hour interview with JL?
that you did for
it was
GG
good.
bet? This
Yeah,
is not
yeah,
an ad.
yeah. At Pro League, it was good. Dude, he's fun to talk to. He's got like a cool mindset. Like he's
So before or after he tweeted about the chairs and then deleted it.
before.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's fun to talk to, man, and he's level headed. He's a normal dude. It's cool. I like talking to him. He said, I mean, I think as you would expect as a player, he's got a lot more faith and confidence in the Navi team than anyone from
Well,
the
he did win
outside.
a major.
Yeah. And it was right after that too. So I mean, he's still riding the high a little bit.
Yep.
But I mean, he was saying things like, like Navi's like probably only like at like 50 or 60% of their full power. They have a lot of progress to make, and they can win more trophies. And
I think Wonderful's really good.
yeah, he is.
I think Wonderful's good. I think Wonderful, Alexi, JL, good. I think Bit can be good, but is hit and miss. And Emma is...
Was hitting in the grand final of the major, though. That's what matters.
Yeah, that is what matters.
Yeah, that was sweet. I mean, JL was hitting the whole event. I don't think he can ever replicate the impact he had across the entire tournament at the major. Then I don't think it'll ever
He
happen
doesn't have
again.
to. Tell that
Yeah.
one to the grave, mate. Tell the
Yeah,
grave
yeah,
kids
it's
about
good.
that one. Yeah.
I mean, think of it like his career.
Hopefully he'll
two
get
majors.
the trophy before then.
Yeah. What do you think about the final here being best of 3? I know we all knew it was the same as Chengdu, best of 3.
I think it's fine.
Think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For these
think-
smaller ones.
I think, yeah,
But even like Blast, for example, with the fall finals and the spring finals now.
they changed it to
best of
BO5, right?
That's the only 2 tournaments they do. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the world finals, I guess, is best
Yeah.
of 5 as well.
yeah.
So those 3. Then we have Katowice at Cologne, best of 5.
I think it'll be interesting with MR12 with how quick some of the maps and matches go.
Yeah, Chengdu final was over in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. And I think the only way to change, like, I think we've talked about this before, but I think like the tier of the tournament where like Dallas is like a tier 1 event and a good tournament, but in terms of prestige, like Cologne and Katowice obviously clips it. Majors, like, you know, like you want those tournaments to have the BO5s.
Yeah.
And the only way to increase Dallas and like Chengdu and Rio to a BO5 would be to increase the other ones to BO7 to make sure it's still there. And that's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, but
That's just insane.
I don't know what's the prize money for an event like this. It's pretty low. huh?
250K.
I don't even, actually
So
don't
what's
know.
first
Is it
prize?
250K?
100 grand.
Yes, I think.
If
Or
that.
100.
Let me have a look.
Just go down, Jason. More.
I'm going. I just,
There.
my fingers can't scroll.
Yeah,
up.
100K.
Yeah, well, at least it's
100K for first.
6 figures.
yeah. Well, that's all right. But fucking CCT was 300, wasn't it?
Honestly, God,
No, it was 5. First place, yeah.
300.
Yeah, it was 500K total.
Yeah. It's
honestly,
300,
God,
100,
the last
250.
thing I look at in a tournament is prize money. I don't give a fuck about the prize
Yeah,
money.
You
because
will
you're
next.
not on a team.
You will next year when it's Valve ranking and it impacts it.
You know how...
Might be true, but CCT was online, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
So
still,
it
I
might as well
mean-
be 250K.
No.
It's half points for online, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's 150K for that they would have gotten, right? Like because it's online. That's more than than here.
Yeah, I just don't care about prize money. I just don't care.
Fair enough. What about Betman Dacha, which was $500,000?
I don't get any of that money. I don't care.
Huh?
I mean, let's ask players. Would you rather have an extra 100K in the prize pool or win the Cologne Trophy?
Okay, well, we're not comparing it to Cologne. We're comparing it to Dallas.
Okay. All right, now there's a conversation.
Ah,
now there's a conversation.
Now you may have a point, sir.
I'd prefer to have the extra $100,000.
Touche.
Yeah. Compared to Cologne, yeah. But look, the best of three, I just think the best of five scenario, the reason I think that we need to go there is because of MR12. But also at the same time, the two last best of five finals we have both been over 3 maps.
Yeah.
So then if they're not competitive, is there any point? I'd prefer to have a highly competitive best of 3.
Then a blowout best of 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
So if we get a highly competitive best of 3, we're in. We're in.
I mean, never forget this tournament had the best match of
But in,
Counter-Strike of all last year.
in theory, a highly competitive best of 3 would make for it couldn't be a blowout if it was a best of 5 because first 2 maps would be the same.
Wait, say that one more time. I'm gonna close my eyes and focus.
All right, a highly competitive best of 3. If you get that, you can't. The trade-off isn't a blowout in a best of 5 because the first 2 maps would be the same. So you would have 2 close maps no matter what.
Okay, I got you. So you're just inserting the best of 3 into the best of 5.
Why would you do that though?
But I mean, why would I do that?
I'm
not doing anything. It's how it would happen.
No, but I'm not saying that just because the best of 3 is competitive, that the best of 5 has to start competitively. What I'm saying is, for the same amount of time, I would prefer to have a competitive 3 maps than a best of 5 that's a blowout over 3 maps.
Okay.
He's like, too many fucking numbers. Can't do this shit.
Should
It's time?
Yeah, should we go to bed?
It's time.
No, we don't want to get flagged.
Yeah. Cool.
Good night.
Yep. See you guys tomorrow.